Welcome to this explainer. Look, heading into 2026, there is a massive, fundamental shift totally upending global procurement. Generic, digital sourcing? Yeah, that's out. What's in? Direct-to-factory partnerships with China's Tier 1 mega manufacturers. So today, we're doing a deep dive. We are categorizing the top 10 suppliers in the industry by product type, and we're looking way past simple assembly capabilities to really unpack their specialized categories and the absolute logistical headaches that come with them.
Okay, so here is our incredibly packed roadmap for today. 2026 China furniture sourcing trends, soft furnishings and mattresses, custom and wood, specialty categories, and finally, top supplier evaluation and risk management.
Let's kick things right off with Section 1, 2026 China Furniture Sourcing Trends.
What we've put together here is essentially the who's who of the entire industry. Seriously, these 10 publicly listed mega manufacturers literally dictate global market trends. You have to realize, you aren't just looking at regional assembly lines anymore. We are talking about full-scale R&D and global logistics powerhouses. For any procurement pro today, the ultimate goal is to flawlessly match your specific volume and category needs with the supplier that holds the exact technical advantage you're looking for.
Moving right along to Section 2, soft furnishings and mattresses. We call this one the volume challenge.
So if bulk OEM is your endgame, you need to meet your titans. Kuka Home absolutely dominates the premium leather and fabric space, which is just ideal for high-end retail brands who can actually stomach those massive minimum order quantities. Now, for pure transactional efficiency, Manhua Holdings offers completely unmatched scale in motion furniture. And over in the sleep tech space, Sleeman is the quiet giant literally powering those massive e-commerce bed-in-a-box empires. But of course, there's always a catch, right? The trade-off for all this massive brand-scaling efficiency is extreme shipping volume. Mattresses, huge home theater recliners, they eat up cubic footage ridiculously fast. And you definitely don't want to pay to ship empty air across the Pacific. Mastering container load optimization isn't just a good idea here, it is literally the only way to keep these high-volume OEM programs profitable.
Next up, Section 3, Custom and Wood. Let's talk about assembly and logistics.
Now this sector is all about massive diversification. On one hand, you have OPIN tackling these incredibly complex whole-house cabinetry solutions for giant real estate developers. Then you've got QMA cornering the lifestyle market with gorgeous, eco-friendly, Scandinavian-inspired wood. Meanwhile, Sunan is totally cashing in on the work-from-home boom with top-tier ergonomic office setups. And Red Apple? They just remain the absolute veteran for high durability, mass-market residential furniture.
The secret sauce to actually pulling off these huge custom projects is what we call KD, or knockdown furniture. Imagine taking a massive whole-house OP-Pine project and shipping it in thousands of unassembled pieces. Sure, it allows for total developer customization on site, but man, it introduces a logistical puzzle that makes standard flat-pack shipping look like absolute child's play.
It is a constant, everyday balancing act. As a buyer, you're chasing those stunning design aesthetics and strict FSC eco certifications. But logistically, you are either tearing your hair out over the nightmare of tracking complex KD parts for custom installs, or you are obsessing over flat-pack shipping optimization just to protect your e-commerce margins. It's tough.
All right, let's dive into Section 4, Specialty Categories. It's all about compliance and fragility here.
This is where we find the true niche powerhouses. Songfa delivers this unbeatable, flawless consistency in fine ceramics, heavily targeting elite hospitality buyers. Over in China's lighting capital, Hawaii is just pumping out top-tier smart home lighting backed by some very serious tech R&D. And if you happen to be a global big-box retailer needing patio furniture, Yo Trio is your go-to for outdoor production on a scale that's honestly hard to comprehend.
Now, when you start dealing with complex specialty decor, tariff engineering becomes your absolute best friend. Think about a modern smart chandelier from Hawaii. It's got metal fixtures, but maybe it has fabric shades plus electronic components. How you and your customs broker classify that mixed material item can legally, and I mean drastically, slash your import duties. It directly protects your bottom line.
But here is the reality check. You have to carefully weigh their incredible technical capacity against some really steep logistical challenges. Take Songfa's ceramics.
You are facing much higher insurance costs, and you need specialized sea freight packaging just because of how fragile it is. With Huai's lighting, electrical compliance like UL and CE standards vary wildly by product line and require rigorous testing. And Yotrio's outdoor furniture is so highly seasonal that orders usually need to be placed a full 6 to 8 months in advance.
So all of this brings us to the million-dollar question. How on earth do you evaluate these Tier 1 mega manufacturers? Because let me tell you, auditing a publicly listed global giant requires a completely different playbook than just walking the floor of a small provincial factory. Which leads us to our final stop, Section 5, Top Supplier Evaluation and Risk Management. Pulling off this masterclass in evaluation really happens in 4 distinct steps. First, you have to verify their true R&D capacity. Companies like Hume are winning global design awards. They aren't just blindly printing out your CAD files. Next, demand to see their ISO and carbon reports. 2026 ESG import laws are going to be unforgiving. Then, you've got to lock in your production capacity early. Miss your window with a factory this size and your standard 30-day lead time? Actually, scratch that. It instantly balloons to 90 days. Finally, get your logistics tightly aligned.
And that logistics alignment is exactly where a 3PL, a third-party logistics provider, saves the day. Just imagine trying to coordinate delicate lighting coming out of Guangdong and massive, heavy sofas coming out of Zhejiang. A good 3PL steps in to seamlessly consolidate those totally disparate goods into one manageable, cost-effective shipment long before it ever hits the ocean. Above all, when you finally sit down at the negotiating table with giants like Manhua or Kuka, never forget the golden rules of high-volume contracts. You must negotiate late delivery penalties right up front. Never, ever skip the pre-shipment inspection. Yes, even with Tier 1s, you still have to verify things like wood moisture levels and die lot consistencies. And lastly, brace yourself for FOB terms with strict minimum order quantities that generally start at full 40-foot containers. Partnering with China's absolute top-tier suppliers unlocks unprecedented scale and market power for your brand, but it demands total mastery of logistics and contract negotiation to actually pull it off. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I'm going to leave you with one final, absolutely critical question to chew on. Is your supply chain strategy genuinely ready for the strict ESG mandates and the massive volume realities coming in 2026? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.